Yeah, got a new show for y'all. Yeah, remember, you can always support the Black Nazis at officialhorsetwins.com. What the hell you say that for? It's a joke, man. Think it's funny? They call us Black Nazis. Were we not? Well, I thought it was funny.
We get called the most ridiculous things. I mean, do y'all know what a Nazi actually was? We was not allowed in that group.
Hey, can I join the Nazis?
Who wants to be
Get your black ass out of here, boy.
Hey.
A Nazi and black don't go together. For them to call me that just shows how ignorant people are. But anyway,
Yeah.
don't forget to use discount code Chinese Fires.
Yeah. Picked you up a patriotic T-shirt or hat today.
Yeah.
Let's start the show.
Joe Biden, Trump has conceded that fat liberal lady's singing. She's stripping, and it's disgusting. But
We still live in the greatest country in the world.
and don't you forget that. We lost several small battles, but the war's not over.
Yeah.
Remember that. The war is not over.
Yeah, we're actually fighting for freedom. Can you believe that in America?
And
We're fighting for freedom.
we fighting for freedom and actually free speech.
But anyway,
I thought this was already settled.
Yeah. But anyway, Joe Biden,
Yeah.
president-elect, soon to be inaugurated later this month.
You know what's amazing, man? This was a powerful candidate, man. He got over 80 million votes and didn't even campaign.
Yeah, he actually won this election 5 times.
Yeah. He didn't have to come out of his basement, man.
No other man before this election got over 70 million votes. But Joe Biden, with his effective campaign strategies, amazing speeches,
Got 10 million more votes.
with his amazing speeches.
Yeah. His great family, like Hunter, and all the great things he's did for this country. They are such role models for the United States of America.
Yeah.
If I had a kid, I want to be just like Hunter Biden.
Shut up. Right? Y'all think about that, though. 80 million votes, and he rarely campaigned.
Yeah. That's a powerful candidate, man. Let's show him some respect. That was a powerful candidate. Didn't even come out his basement. And every time he came out his basement, he put his foot in his mouth, and he still got 80 million votes.
Unbelievable.
People really like this man.
They love this man. They went to the elections.
Mm-hmm.
They went to the polls and voted.
Yep.
They filled in the mail-in ballots. Even
Yeah.
though there's a pandemic, they came out there and risked their life for this man.
Yeah.
That's because he's a powerful candidate.
They actually got that man on camera saying, if you don't fire this dude, you're not getting $1 billion. You know what Joe Biden supporters said? Oh, that's Photoshop. That never happened.
Yeah.
Twitter took it down. Twitter's taking all these things down by the son.
Yeah, but anyway, he came out and gave one of his most epic speeches year to date.
He's supposed to bring us together, man.
He claims he's going to bring the country together, but y'all tell me what he's trying to do in this video. Let's cut to the video.
Yeah.
A little over an hour and a half after the chaos started, I got a text from my granddaughter, Finnegan Biden, who's a senior in her last semester.
This dude need to talk
University of
faster.
Pennsylvania. She sent me a photo
Hurry up, man.
of military people in full military gear,
You're too slow.
scores of them lining the steps of the Lincoln Memorial because of protests by Black Lives Matter. She said, "Pop, this isn't fair.
Man.
No one can tell me that if had been a group of Black Lives Matter protesting yesterday, they wouldn't have been treated very, very differently than the mob of thugs
What?
that stormed the Capitol."
Thugs?
We all know that's true. And it is unacceptable, totally unacceptable. The American people saw it in plain view, and I hope it sensitized them to what we have to do.
Man, Joe, you crazy as hell, man.
Well, look here. What he said is actually,
Yeah, it's 100% fact. They do
'Cause-
treat Black Lives Matter supporters and Antifa way far different than Trump protesters.
Okay, look, you got to look at the history of both sides.
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter and Antifa, when they show up to protest,
Yeah.
they have a history of being just violent. They show up to protest with Molotov cocktails,
Baseball bats,
milk jugs full of urine,
shanks.
fireworks. I've seen them throw fireworks at cops.
Yeah.
And they
Cost
burned
billions of dollars in damage.
Yeah, they burned down privately owned businesses in the name of equality.
Burned down police stations.
Police officers were shot. People were murdered in their protests. So when they announced they're going to be at the Lincoln Memorial, I think they did the correct thing to have the National Guard, because if Black Lives Matter and there was no National Guard there, they'd have ripped Lincoln's white ass right out of that chair. They would have tore the whole damn place up.
Yeah.
Right?
Because they have a history. I mean, they should have had the National Guard there in police.
I agree that the National Guard should have been at the White House.
Yeah.
But for you to call these people thugs, right, when this whole summer, when Black Lives Matter and Antifa was murdering, burning down business, you was awful damn quiet. You didn't say anything.
You called Trump supporters who were just walked into the building. You call them thugs, but you can't call the other side thugs.
Yeah, they didn't break into the Capitol. I've seen some people breaking windows, but I've seen a lot of cops waving them in and let them into the building.
But I agree with you. They did treat both sides totally different.
But the reason why he makes sure he says this, he doesn't have he has ulterior motives.
Right.
He's pushing that racial divide in this country.
He's being very vague. He wants you to make some bad assumptions. He's not going to come out and say, oh, if black people are there to treat them different. No, he's not going to actually say that.
Yeah, and I see all over Twitter, all these black people who voted for Joe Biden said, look at all these white people all with this white privilege.
Yeah.
There was black Trump supporters that was allowed in. They did not turn away black Trump supporters. So this has nothing to do about race. But I do agree that they should have handled this situation
totally
the
different.
same.
Should have handled it the same way they handled Black Lives Matter and Antifa when they was at the Lincoln Memorial. Those Trump supporters should have never been let inside.
I mean,
but you insinuating that Trump supporters have white privilege, that this country's racist. I don't think that was the case. Because like I said, my brother said, there was plenty of black Trump supporters there too. They wasn't turned away.
Yeah, like there's I've seen this Black Lives Matter publicist, whatever the hell you want to call her. She was on the news when they was rioting and burning down this country over the summer. She said, looting businesses is reparations.
Yeah, that's why you got the National Guard, you got police guarding the Lincoln Memorial, because they think Lincoln's white ass is going to be reparations.
They think the Capitol building is going to be reparations.
Yeah. Totally two different sides, totally two different histories.
Yeah, and
you can't even compare it to us like apples versus oranges. But I do agree with you. They should have never let those the National Guard should have been there. There should have been a lot of police there. They should have never let them inside. But I don't think the reason why Trump supporters were let inside is because of race. A lot of cops that were there waving them in were black. A lot of cops are conservative. A lot of cops didn't agree with what was going on. That's why they was given preferential treatment, not because they're white.
Yeah, so the security measures were horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, all cops understand the dynamics of crowds.
Right.
One bad apple, and that crowd can get out of hand. So I wouldn't even put much blame on the Trump supporters. The cops, the National Guard, they should have did that job. The whole government was in that building. I mean, y'all had the National Guard for Lincoln sitting his ass in that chair.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody's life at risk. You should have had that for at least for our government. But again, the reason why Joe Biden makes this point, it's not he doesn't have good intentions. He wants that racial divide because that's what got him elected.
Yeah. He knows that this is a good talking point for him to grab more black voters.
Exactly.
That was totally, race had nothing to do with what happened at the Capitol building.
Absolutely.
Their prior histories from both sides played a huge role in that. I mean, just think about it. Black Lives Matter show up in Antifa. They got bats, fire, those cocktails that just burn people up, guns, knives. They're going to treat them totally different than somebody just walking up with a damn Trump flag.
Yeah, I've seen Black Lives Matter protesters attack journalists and beat the hell out of them.
Yeah. I mean, it's
chased.
A known history of being violent, but
I've seen Black Lives Matter chasing people down, beating the hell out of them just because they have a Keep America Great hat on.
Yeah.
So, of course, you're going to treat them differently. But they should have been treated the same because of the dynamic of crowds. One bad apple gonna go wrong.
And not only that, somebody from Antifa, somebody from a radical movement could have
easily put on a Trump shirt, a Trump hat, a Trump flag, and walk right in and blew that Capitol building. Everybody from our government was there. Lindsey Graham is right. They're so lucky. It could have been far worse because somebody could have came in there with a bomb and took out the whole government. But I don't know. I think they wanted this to happen.
I do too.
I don't think members of Congress and the Senate, the two chambers of Congress, I don't think any of them their lives were ever in danger.
Yeah. I do. I would say this.
Yeah.
If Black Lives Matter and Antifa, knowing their prior history of being violent, things would have been a lot different. And I'm not basing that on race. I'm basing it on prior history. Stats, fires, the damage they've caused.
Yeah.
I'm not making that determination based on their race, their color, their skin. It's based on their prior history.
Yeah. Now, let's say it'd been a great day for us on the right. Let's say Trump got reelected and they overturned the election.
Right.
Let's say that happened. And let's say Black Lives Matter and Antifa's going to protest the overturning of the election due to fraud, supposedly, or whatever it was. The reason why they overturned it. And they're going to the Capitol building. You think the security is going to be lax? Hell no. Because for the last 4 years, the media's been saying Trump is a white supremacist and this is all this white privilege. He's got reelected. So their security should be a lot stronger.
Yeah.
And we know the history of Black Lives Matter.
It just feels like to me after this, the cops had to be involved with this. They had to been down with it.
Well, of course, you see them waving them in.
Yeah.
The security was lax.
Yeah, that's the main reason this happened is because the cops, majority of them are conservative.
Yeah, and you know conservatives support the cops.
Right.
And the cops felt for them to wave them in like that, it wasn't going to get out of hand because there's no prior history of Trump supporters protesting and attacking people and breaking and just destroying property. There's no evidence of that. Well, you can see evidence each and every day of on the left of them just tearing this country down. You didn't have that until today. And I think there was some bad apples in there. Some of them say they may have been even Antifa. There's some evidence of that, but still, you still need to represent yourself the way the right has always represented themselves.
And I think majority of the people on the right did. I just think there was some bad apples in it.
But the media, they're the strongest organization in this country. They've painted this scenario like Trump supporters are horrible. Look what Trump did.
Yeah.
Trump didn't get out there and tell people to tear down the Capitol building and run in there and do damage and put people's lives at risk. He never said any of that.
Yeah, but the way they take things and twist things around, like Joe Biden never came out and denounced Antifa and the destruction Black Lives Matter protests have caused. But look, the first opportunity he gets, he calls people on the right thugs. This is the man that's supposed to bring us together. How are you going to bring us together, scan black folks, insinuating they'd have been treated differently based on the color of their skin?
Yeah, you're going to call the side that didn't vote for you thugs, but you're going to bring this country together.
Yeah. I'm still waiting on you saying something beautiful that's going to make me forget what happened over the last 3 months for me to actually support you.
Why would you call them thugs? I mean, nobody's perfect, Joe. Perfect example, look at your son. He's a crackhead.
Yeah.
He's hooked on drugs, and then you sit there and praise him.
Yeah.
You're in video praising your son that he's a great, intelligent person, but he's hooked on a poor black man's drug. But you're gonna paint Trump supporters as thugs. What does that make your son? It makes him a crackhead. It makes him make poor decisions.
Yeah.
This dude's made millions because you were in office from China, Ukraine, made millions of dollars, and this dude went and blew it on a poor black man's drug, crack.
I don't want to got that good cocaine, man.
Got some cocaine.
I'm not gonna go on some street corner. Hey, man, you got some crack?
You got some. What do you
got
call
some heroin?
What do they call?
How
crack?
about that black tar stuff? I heard that's real good.
What is it? 8 balls?
I don't know. I'm not a crackhead, man.
I don't do drugs. I tried weed when I was like 18, but I don't do drugs.
Hey, maybe we invite Hunt on the show, man. Maybe he explain to us what's an 8 ball, what's heroin, what's crack. He explain the difference, man.
And man, this is just
but it's terrible, man, for Joe Biden for you to come out and I agree with you. They did treat both sides differently.
They did, but he used it to drive the racial divide in this country.
Yeah.
The Democrats, are they just brilliantly smarter than us?
Yeah. I mean,
about
did they anticipate this happening?
Because
looking at the video,
Yeah.
it's like they want it to happen. National Guard is not within miles of this place.
Yeah.
I mean, the cops are waving people in. They knew what was going down. The whole government was there. They knew something was. They was going to. I think they knew things was going to get out of hand. They was going to twist things. I don't ever think anybody's life was in danger.
Yeah, and Trump, they was going to show the evidence in those hearings.
Yeah.
None of that ever occurred because of what happened.
Yeah.
I mean, if they planned this, man, these are some brilliant psychopaths.
Well, you have to admit, man, they've been winning all the small battles recently.
Yeah.
Lately, I mean, lost the 2 houses, the 2 seats in the Senate. I mean, we gained some seats, like 5 seats in the House, but we lost the presidency, man. We got 2 wackos in
We
there.
lost the White House, man. We done lost the White House. The White House has been breached by Marxist, communist
It's a damn
in
shame.
America. Ronald Reagan said it.
Yeah.
He said if what did he say? I forget.
If
He said
fascism ever come to America,
Yeah.
it's going to be through liberalism.
Yeah, fascism, yeah.
Yeah.
He called that, what was that, back in the 80s?
Yeah.
Damn, Ronald Reagan.
Man, he's one of the best presidents we ever had.
He's all right.
Black people didn't like him. But hell, when did black
Man.
people actually like white Republicans?
Yeah, he was actually, I
He
mean,
was a good man.
I was too young to remember. I was
Yeah.
playing basketball. I was doing black kid things.
Well, I'll tell you what, looking at old Ronald Reagan videos, he had a great sense of humor, man.
Yeah, he had a great
I bet he had some good black jokes.
I heard one of them with Nixon. Oh,
That
man, that
wasn't
was
a good-
racist as hell. Man, there's some damn hot tapes of Nixon and Reagan talking about black people. It was racist as hell.
Yeah, it's racist, man.
That shit was beyond racist.
But who hasn't said a racist joke? White, black, brown, yellow, red. Who hasn't?
Yeah.
I mean,
But it just looks horrible when it's a white president. You know?
it looks twice as bad as when it's a white guy. But when a black guy does it, it's okay.
Oh, it's okay. Give them a
They've
pass.
been oppressed.
Yeah.
They're okay.
That's how you end racism, with racism on the other side. Anyway, I'm looking forward to these next, I don't know how long Joe's going to last, whether it be a year, 2 years.
I give him 2 years, 6 months tops.
Yeah.
I think actually he's going to step down.
He's been looking good in front of camera, though, lately. Like that
Man.
little speech, he's been holding it together.
He's kind of slow to me, man.
He's real slow.
He need to speed that up or tell the people who's working behind his teleprompter to speed up the text.
No, I think he was, it probably was teleprompter.
It's got to be a teleprompter. Oh, well, we're pretty much screwed.
We go bright because you know why?
Yeah.
We live in the greatest country
In the world.
in America. Just be glad you don't live in China. You're not in Somalia.
Yeah.
All these other
Look what they're
socialist-
doing in Canada.
They going
You
in.
could live in Canada right now.
Yeah, cops is busting in people's houses because they got too many people in the house.
6 people. I got 6 people living with me. That means if they pass those laws about COVID
Yeah.
and how many people you can have in your house, that means I will have to give away a couple of my kids for adoption.
Yeah, man. These cops are so bad in Canada. They knock on the door and you come to the door with no mask on, they're going to drag your ass out the house. You got to have a mask on. And it's funny, they don't have no plastic shields over their eyes.
Yeah.
People do not understand. When I caught COVID and they took my COVID test, they had a mask on, but they had a shield on too to cover up their eyeballs.
Yeah.
You know, viruses love eyeballs. They wide open.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a damn good show.
Yeah. Go to officialhorsetwins.com and pick you out a patriotic t-shirt today. Hell, I'm even giving you 20% off. Just type in discount code Chinese virus. We call it Chinese because it's from China. We making t-shirts great again. Yeah.